Big news out of Arcade1up today. I only got a few minutes to talk about it, so let's get to it. Hold my Diet Mountain Dew. Alright guys, so this is going to be a quick one. I'm on a little bit of a break from work here and I just wanted to get this put together. There's plenty of more in-depth videos out there, people really diving into this. But I just wanted to take a second and kind of just do a short highlight kind of video talking about the new stuff out of Arcade1up. Because some of it's pretty cool and some of it's, what people have really been asking for and looking for. So without further ado, let's look at these new cabinets that they got coming out. So we got X-Men 4-player arcade cabinet. I think it looks sweet. The Dragon's Lair arcade cabinet, Space Ace, Killer Instinct, Atari Legacy, Bandai Namco, because this is what everybody's looking for. More Pac-Man, right? Yeah, all right, we'll come back to it. And Capcom Legacy, along with this new thing called a 4-player pub table. So all kinds of stuff here to unpack. We're going to do it real quick. Let's start at the top. We got the X-Men, which is a pretty cool looking cabinet. I think they've really kind of captured some of that look and that feel of the X-Men. Now there is one thing though that really kind of concerns me about this cabinet, and that's the side viewing angles here. You can see how the cabinet kind of juts out here over the screen. Now clearly this is just a rendering, so things will probably change, and all of these are renderings and they'll probably change, but you can see by how the screen doesn't line up here, right, that this is clearly a rendering. But if we take a look at like the NBA Jam cabinet, you can see on the side here, it curves up. So the player standing over here, I think has a better view of the screen than what you have here, where they're trying to get this kind of more authentic arcade look. So I don't know. It remains to be seen what that's going to look like in person. From the rendering, though, I'm a little bit concerned about that. Of note, though, here, as with most of these, they actually have this kind of faux coin door on it now, so that's pretty neat. Kind of give you a little bit more of that arcade look. And here we can see some of the games on here. So actually, it's kind of a little hard to see in that screenshot. But you do have the X-Men 4-player on there, as well as Avengers and Galactic Storm and Captain America. So a couple extra games there for you on there. But one thing that I think is pretty cool, though, and some other people will probably appreciate, and it's hard to see from this angle here, but there's actually 4 buttons for each player. So for those of you that want to mod this to be able to do a Raspberry Pi or a computer in it, this might open some more possibilities up for you since you have those extra buttons there already. All right. Told you this one's going to be quick. We're going to move on here. So next thing, Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. Now let's talk about these both at the same time here, because they're really the same thing, just a different graphics on the cabinet, right? So on the Dragon's Lair cabinet and the Space Ace, you got Dragon's Lair 2, and Space Ace. Now people have been asking for this one for a long time, and man, it does look really cool. They've really kind of hit the appearance of the Dragon's Lair cabinet here, including it seems the curved marquee too, which is pretty neat. Now, one thing that has kind of came to light, if I understand correctly, Retro Ross actually got an interview going with some of the guys from Arcade1up, and this screen, the secondary screen back here with the high score, that actually seems to be a cell phone. So it's like a place you can put your cell phone with an app on your cell phone to actually have the scores and everything there. So if I understood that correctly, so that's going to be interesting. But the idea of what they said was so that you didn't have to take up screen real estate, because you're going to have HD rendering of Dragon's Lair. So being an animated game like that, that might be really cool. So if you're into Dragon's Lair, they might have something really cool in the works here for you, or Space Ace for that matter. Moving on. Now this one, a lot of people have been asking for a long time. This is really, honestly, a pretty exciting one. You got the Killer Instinct arcade cabinet, which they actually really, if you go and look up the Killer Instinct cabinet from the arcade, it looks a lot like this. So I think they've really hit the style on this one, really good. And this has Killer Instinct 2, and Battletoads. So got some classic rare going on here. That Battletoads one, I think that's going to excite quite a few people as well, not just the Killer Instinct. So totally cool, awesome. Everybody's been asking for it. Well, not everybody. A lot of people have been asking for it. So awesome to see that they're doing that and trying to give that kind of classic arcade cabinet look. Now, one thing that I'm not so sure about, though, is this screen is very straightforward on this. And a lot of people have been asking for more of the recessed look with the screens, right? Where they're kind of laid back, giving you a little better viewing angle, especially when you're standing. So another thing to kind of keep an eye on here, might be a little awkward standing with this screen being quite so flat. Okay, now this is the one I'm really excited about. We got the Atari Legacy Edition arcade cabinet. So this one's really cool. To me, it's really cool. Maybe not to you, but man, they really hit this Tempest cabinet appearance here, and I think they've done a fantastic job with that. I'm super stoked about this one. It's got 12 games on it, which I think is awesome. They've switched it up. There's a couple of games different on here than were on the original one. So there's just like 2 of them. So you got a little different variety here, but not much. For instance, they've removed a Lunar Lander and Quantum, and now you have Space Duel and, I don't know if I'm saying this right, AKR. I don't know what that game is. I haven't played it. Sorry. If you played it and you loved it, I don't mean to offend you, but you have it on here. So that's I think pretty cool there. You got a couple of new games in there, but if you love the ones that are on the other one, you're not going to have it here. Now this one I find really interesting, though, what they've done with the control panel on here, and I'm not so sure how much I really like it, unfortunately. So you got the trackball and you got the spinner like you did on the old 12-in-1, which that's great. But they've put the spinner back behind these buttons here. So you got to reach over these buttons to get to the spinner, and I'm not sure how well that's going to look. And if you look at the old 12-in-1, on this, it's just, the spinner was just over to the right here, which, of course, the cabinet was more open. It didn't come down on the side, so you can afford to have the spinner over there. But since they went with that real classic Tempest look, you can't really do that now. So a little bit of I think possibly a sacrifice made here just to get the appearance, but man, it is a gorgeous looking cabinet. It really captures the original, I think. So kudos to them on that. It remains to be seen if that spinner is going to be easy to play with there, because that's big, right? The spinner has to be good. And I heard that this is the upgraded spinner, so it should be better than the one that was in the original 12-in-1. So good on that. All right, next thing, what everybody wants, more Pac-Man, right? So yeah, it's probably going to make a few people mad. You've gone on, you've bought whatever revision of Pac-Man you already have. So here's another one. This one is going to be the Bandai Namco Legacy Edition, and in here you do have 12 games. So they've put quite a few in here. You got Pac-Man, Pac-Land, Pac-Man Plus, Super Pac-Man, Pac-and-Pow, Pac-Mania, Galaxian, Galaga, Dig Dug, Dig Dag 2, Mappy, and Rompers. So this one, for people that are running out of room, could be a nice consolidation piece, because you do get Pac-Man on here, you get Galaga and Galaxian and Dig Dug, which I don't know, have they done Dig Dug in a full one? I'm not sure. I know they did the countercade with it, but so you get a lot of good games in here. This could help you kind of consolidate down if that's where you want to go. Past there, got the Capcom Legacy Edition. Now this one, I got kind of that classic cabinet look. So, once again, they're trying to really kind of invoke some of that arcade look here. And this has the same thing that one of the cocktails had, where it's 12 different things on it. So you got Street Fighter, the original Street Fighter 2 World Warrior, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Darkstalkers, that's great. Strider, Commando, Final Fight, Ghosts and Goblins, and 1944. So once again, a chance to kind of consolidate down here because you got the Street Fighter, you got the Final Fate cabinet, basically all in this one, along with some additional games. So for those people that need the extra space, this could be a really good option there. Now, one thing that's kind of interesting with this is that they have recessed the marquee here. Now, presumably they've done this for visibility, so as you're standing and looking down at the screen, you can hopefully see it better. But we can see it just like with the Killer Instinct. They seem to have gone to kind of a more vertical screen there than, say, with like the Pac-Man or some of the other ones. The Killer Instinct, though, the rendering on this, they actually bring that marquee out to the edge. So I'm not sure why the difference there. And it looks like a very similar design in cabinet. I don't know. It could be that one of these is the right way in the way that they're going to do it. Or maybe they do have the two different cabinets that are actually laid out different. All right, last thing here, we got the Pong 4-player pub table. So it's kind of a standing table. You got 4 spinners on here, giving you some rather hectic, gameplay with your friends. So you can see this guy here who's just so casually standing by his Pong 4-player pub table. But in here you got Pong, Quadra-Pong, Pong Doubles, Warlords, Pong Sports, Circus Atari, Tempest on here, that's kind of neat, and Super Breakout. So you really got to get a good variety here. I don't know that this form factor is for everybody, but I don't know, it could be kind of a neat addition. And maybe, for the people that aren't doing like an actual arcade, but they just want a conversation piece, this really could be a pretty good score here. There you go, guys. That's it. Just a quick video. Really wanted to just kind of take a peek at each one of these. If you want more detail, there's guys out there that are delving into each one of these in a lot more detail. If you want a lot of detail, check out Retro Ralph and Console Kit's 1UP Weekly. They got the guys from Arcade1up on there, and they're really kind of delving into a lot of this stuff. So that's where you can get a ton of detail. Of course, the Arcade1up website. Well, let me know. Did you have any thoughts about these? Are these cabinets that you're excited about? Are there things that you wish they had done differently? Put it down in the comments. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up. If you'd like to see the other things I got coming, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you back here. Thank you so much for your time and watching. Have a great day.